Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I downloaded a video last time about when you lose someone close to you. Today I'm going to talk about one of my close friends. I consider her my friend. Um, till this day, it's still hard for me to talk about it because it just reminds me of her. So if I, start tearing up and I start crying, it's just because it's been so long, since I talked about her, and it just bringing back, the memory. I know her since we started high school, and it was 2002, 2003 that we started school. Can't remember. Sorry, I'm tearing up. I know her just a long time ago. We kind of started getting close when it was, I think, our sophomore year. Um, Sophomore, junior year, since we had since we had classes together. Um, I don't know. It's just kind of hard. I don't know if any of you have lost anyone close to you. Close friend you consider, like family. I consider her family because I only have like three brothers, so I'm the only sister they have, and well, daughter. Um, and it's been really hard for me. It was really harder when it happened because it took me like a long time to like process it in my mind, and and just get closure, after it had happened. um that year, it was in sophomore year. Sophomore, yeah, it was sophomore. We had classes, and um she had went through, having this boyfriend, that she really cared about. I guess, she really took him serious, and she was on and off with him, and she was having, like difficulties, trying to like keep up because she liked to play like softball. So she was known, she was really, known for that. Everybody wanted her in her team, and since we are in a little town, she would travel to the other little town that came from the little town that we were at. Um, she didn't play baseball in our, I guess because I don't think we had that program at that time. So she will go to the other town. I think it was like 15, 30 minutes away from ours. And everybody loved her. She made friends anywhere she went. And well, I guess her boyfriend couldn't, they couldn't like, have a relationship due to, she was always, in softball, and then she was always trying to support her little sisters because they played basketball, and since she was the oldest, she tried to be a good role model, and she also played other sports too. I'm not sure she played basketball, but her favorite was um, baseball. Mm, that year, it was like really tough for her because she didn't know how to maintain a relationship with her boyfriend at that time, and she was out of it. Mm, there was other guys that really wanted to date her, but she was a type that she was like no. She was like friendly with everybody. She was like no, like I really want to work things out with him because I really love him, and I am thinking of future with him. Well, our junior year, we started this class. I don't know if it's still named like that, but it was relationships where you have like the babies, and then they teach you about other stuff, but I'm not gonna get into that. Um, And I known that teacher for a very long time since I was in middle school. And I had other classes with her like business, home ec, and then relationships. And so, anyhow, I'm just saying about this teacher because later on I'm gonna mention her. We were in the class and I was a type that I love babies. Like, I always talked about when I grow up, I want to have babies, and I can't wait for this. But I was also the type, like, I'm not gonna bring a baby until I'm ready. And she was the type that she said she would never have kids. I don't know why, but I guess she was not a baby person. Um, the year, it was already the middle of the year because that's when we started doing the babies. And I had talked to her about I can't wait, to bring the babies, especially the new ones that we're gonna get, and have fun with them. I can't wait to dress them like this. I wonder if I'm gonna have a little boy, a little girl. During that time, that's all I talked about, and she supported me. She said I was crazy, of course, because she knew that I was loving. Um, and there was other times that we had another class that if you had good grades, you could bring like snacks and you could eat in that class. I don't know if it has changed now, but that's how it was. And we were always joking around and everything like that. And so she will always have this little purse that was like this big, like this little, full of pens and pencils. And she always said that she always had candy for me because it was her favorite. So it became my favorite. It was Tootsie Rolls. She had like small and then the little medium ones and the big ones. And she was like, "Oh, I got one for you. Take some." And that little purse. I don't even know how the little purse even survived with so many things with pens and pencils and Tootsie Rolls. Her little perfume. I don't know. She had more things, but I never got in it because it was not my purse. And there was this one time that she asked me to get her something out of her purse. I don't know. Oh, she wanted me to take out the candy while she came out of the bathroom. And I was digging her little purse and I saw a little perfume. It was Lucky, I remember. Lucky 7? I don't know if it's still around, but I think so. And I stole it. I was like, oh, I'm going to steal it because I love how she always smells. And I didn't tell her I stole it until later on. And then I took all the candies. And then there was this two boys that we always joked around with them. If you're watching, hi, I'm talking about you guys. We always joked around with them because they never had good grades, so we were always out eating hot Cheetos. And then whenever time they asked, they will be like, "Can I have some?" And we're like, "No, get your grades, you know, to the point that you go have snacks, or else we're gonna get in trouble with the teacher." And so yeah, we started joking around, and then she had this one little. I have it right there. A little spinner of Playboy, and it had broken, and she was so sad. And she was like, "Hey, you think you could fix it?" Because I was known to fix things. I was like, "Yeah, I'll fix it." Time went past by, and I had forgotten about the little keychain because she always carried in that little purse. And that day, she was kind of acting like she wanted to ask me something. And she had like a little ring. It's right there with her frame. And she asked me, in our little table, because we had our own little club supposedly, our little round table that was behind the class. And she took my hand and she was like, "I want to ask you something." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Will you marry me?" And I looked at her and I was like, "Yes, I will marry you." And these two boys looked at us like, "What?" I didn't know you guys were like that. But it was just, how we were. We were just silly. And, I looked at her as my sister. And so I took it and she put it right here. That's into mine now. She put it like right here, and then she's like, "Promise me you'll never lose it. You will always have it with you." And I told him like, "Of course I'll never take it off. You know, like it's a gift from you. You know what I mean?" And I always carried it with me, and I was afraid that I was gonna break it since I was, in cheerleading and volleyball and basketball playing, and I didn't want to like break it or anything because it meant something from her. And so we were already getting to the point where we were gonna do the babies, and this teacher stood up like in front of the class, and she was like kind of looking at me. I didn't know why at that moment. She was like, "Oh, I have some people that I want to talk to before we open the new babies that everybody was all excited about." I was like, "Okay." My mind never crossed that it's probably gonna be me because I was always the kind that I was taught that to respect their elders, even though they don't attend to deserve it. But I was like, whatever. So she got to this one girl that was known to, get around with everybody, and she was all came and she was like, oh, bragging about what the teacher had told her, like, oh, she said, I'm not gonna mention the teacher's name because I don't know, if people know her, and I don't want her, to watch this, and if you guys do know, I just prefer that her name is out because it's been so long, and I try to move, from that what had happened. Anyhow, so she was like, "Oh yeah," she said that if she ever had kids, that she would trust me with her kids. And the reason why she said that is that if she ever had, is because the teacher when she was younger, something happened to her, and they had to take all of it, like all her insides, out, so she can't have babies. So the next thing you know, the teacher came from the hallway where the door was, and then she was like, "Oh," she called me, and then I looked at my friends, but especially at my friend, and I looked at her and I was like, "Why does she need to talk to me?" I'm like, "I guess it's gonna be something good." And I was like, here's like the door. I was barely like getting at like going to the door when she didn't even stop like wait for me to even like get closer to the hallway, since it was like personal. That's how I took it. And she's like, she just looked at me straight in my eyes and she's like, if I ever had a kid, I would never trust you. In that moment, I didn't feel, I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I wanted to cry, if I felt offended. I didn't know how I felt that moment. And so I just looked at her and I just stared at her and she just looked at me and walked away and just left me in the hallway there. And then when she walked away, I just started crying. In that moment, I didn't know how to take it. And so when I went in, I was like, trying to stop crying because it really hurt me, like deep. It hurt me. Especially that, I was known to not disrespect the teachers because I was not like that. I know a lot of high schoolers, or any age, I mean, disrespects, older people or their teachers, and starts cussing them out. And I was not known, to do that. Even if, they didn't like me or anything, like that, I will just be like, like ignore them and be like, okay, if you don't accept that, then whatever, you know what I mean? But I went in and my friend saw me and she just like looked at me and she looked at the teacher all mad, like looking at her all mean. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And then the other girls came and she was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "Oh, miss, told me that she ever had kids that she would never trust me with them." And I couldn't stop crying. And my friend looked at me and she got mad. She was like, "That B word." It's like, because I don't know if there's little kids watching, so I don't want to cuss. But she was like, "That B, has no right to be saying that to you." It's like, she's just mad that she can't have kids, and she knows that if you have kids, that you're gonna be the best mom and the best teacher. And that's what hurts her. And the teacher just looked at her and she was like, and walked away. And I couldn't even look at the teacher. I was just like crying. So everybody was all excited to open the babies. And she's all like, "Anyhow, guys, like, get ready for the babies." So I was like, my heart was like so broken that I didn't even care about the doll anymore. And I ended up getting stuck with the older one that has like a little circle. And the little, instead of being like a little chip that, you just like pass it, it was like a little circle that you had to put inside him. Well, I said him because mine was a boy, to stop crying. And it was like old fashioned because like you had to have this big computer that will set it up as easy or normal, um, or hard, or however you wanted to put it. And mine was set, I didn't know, mine was set every 2 minutes or every 2 seconds to cry. It will cry for it didn't have no limit, like breastfeeding, sorry, bottle feeding, or diaper change, or burping. It didn't have that. So my baby was constantly crying, wah, 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 and it did not let me sleep, let me tell you. And so my friend got this one little baby, I think it was a little Asian one. She was excited, but she was like, can you take care of the baby? Because, I have practice. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then I returned mine that week that we had that baby. I returned it because, like, I needed it to either be changed or just, mommy with someone else and, take turns taking care of the baby. And that's what I did with my friends. And it was just like crazy. And so, yeah, next thing you know, we started getting more closer. And the teacher just started like minding her own business, like if nothing ever happened. And so that's what I didn't know how to react, towards that. Because later on, I'm just gonna say this now. Um, I had her in my senior year, so that's what I'm saying. Like, all my respect was lost for her. Like, she will ask me like, "Oh, like act all friendly, like nothing ever happened," but I didn't want to show it at me, because I was like, like, even though she did me wrong, me doing her wrong is not gonna make it right, because whatever. And so, yeah, that time went and we got our grades, and I got an A minus, and my friend got an A plus, and she was all happy. And then she was like, something, like, I want to tell you something. I'm like, what? And she's like, if I ever have kids, if I ever, I want you to be my nanny. When she said that, it just, touched me, because I felt like she knew, that that's what I ever, that's what I always wanted. You know what I mean? And so I just smiled and I told them, like, I would love, to be your nanny, because I've always been the type that I've always loved babies and to take care of babies and everything like that, my family. And so, I don't know, I felt like she saw what I saw in me, as a child. And so I just hugged her and I was like, like, thank you. time passed, my friend, sorry, my brother lost one of his closer friends, and she was really close to that family, and she got close to his older brother. And during that time, she was there for him, and she was like, whenever you need somebody, I'm here for you. And her dad was the coach for my brothers, my two younger brothers, because I have three brothers, to teach them, to play basketball. So they were like in the small little league. And so, that's how the parents knew each other. And so she was always, like with him, and always, offering, her support. Like, if you need something, I'm here for you. And I don't know, she was more different, I mean? She was like more, I guess, thought about more about others than, her relationship now, you know what I mean? And so I value her, you know what I mean? Because she knew how to be there for, for anybody that needed it. And so that year, I had told her, like, hey, you're gonna come to our birthday party because last year you didn't come. And she's like, yes, I promise you that I am going to your birthday party. I'm like, oh, I just want to make sure, so I could get you an invitation and get invitations already out. And so later on that day, there was going to be a girl that graduated before us, her baby shower. And everybody was like, hey, are you going to go? And I was like, no, I'm not going to go. I'm just going to stay home. And she was like, oh, I think I might go. I was like, well, we do really be really careful because it's snowing outside, and it's gonna get worse, and especially when it gets cold, just be extra careful. And that time, my locker was right here, and hers was right here, so it was like in the corner like that. And I had just looked at her, and I couldn't stop looking at her. I just looked at her, and I don't know if it was gonna be the last time I was gonna see her. So then, she looked at me and she was all smiling. And she was like, what? I promise I am going to go to your birthday party. I was like, no, it's not that. I'm like, that's still, time, So it was like November, December. And my birthday party, of course, it was going to be in May. But I wanted to, know so I could get, the invitations ready. I know how many people are going to go. And, I just wanted her there, you know what I mean? Since, I don't know, I felt closer, and I just looked at her as a sister. So later that day, school was about, to end. And I just, this whole time I just kept feeling like, I need to get something out of my chest. Like, I don't know, like, something is gonna happen to her. Like, I don't know, like, should I just tell her? And I just kept pulling it back. I was like, no, no, I'm not. And so then school was over. The bell started ringing. At that time, I don't think I was driving. I think I was in the bus. I don't know why I was in the bus, but yeah. And she was running late, and she had left her phone in the locker. And she's like, oh, I'm not gonna take my phone because it's stupid. And it was like those little, what are they called? The Nikos? They're like that. And it had a small little screen. I don't even know if that's what they call. Maybe the ones that are older will probably know. Um, And I didn't see that at the time until later on. I started texting her. I'm just saying that she left her phone, I mean, her locker, because later on, that's why. Um, so then later on, she started, there's like the hallway, because we had left the lockers, and there's like the hallway, and then to the right was the doors to go out for the bus, and then if you kept going straight, it will take you to, to the office, into the front of the school. And before she even got to the middle, and I got to the middle before going to the left, I stopped her and I screamed at her, and I called her and she came back. Like, I wanted to tell her in that moment how I felt, and I didn't want to sound, I don't know, like, now that I think about it, I should have just said what I needed to say. But in the moment, I didn't want to sound weird. I don't know how to explain it. And she looked at me, and I just told her, just be careful, Whoever you're riding with, drive safe, put your seatbelt on, and have fun. I'll text you later on and let me know how it went. So then, I started texting her, and she's not replying. I keep texting her again. She's not replying. I keep asking her, are you okay? Please let me know. I'm worried. I hope you're having fun. And all day, all night, I should say. I couldn't get her off of mine. I just kept looking at my phone, hoping that she will text me back or call me. In the night, I just kept looking at my TV and just talking to myself and praying that to please keep her safe. And that hopefully when I get to school tomorrow, that will probably just scream at her and tell her that I was worried. And then that morning, I woke up. My phone, I didn't have no text. I didn't have no call. And this one girl was in her ride, to school with us. And I could have felt like something had happened. And then my dad started sliding because he was taking us to school. And then from there, I just thought about her and I said her name. And I was like, something happened to her, I know. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to think that. And then as soon as I started walking in front of the school to enter the front doors, these two girls that supposedly were my friends screamed at me and, start saying my name. And they're like, did you not hear what happened? And I was like, what? Mine, there's two doors. There's like the front door, and then there's the middle, and there's a door, and then there's the like the waiting area, where the lunchroom is, and then there's the gym, and then there's like the office right here. So that's where we were just, sit while the bell rings, so the gates go open, so we go to class. I'm just in the middle there, and they're just like saying it like nothing. Did you hear what happened? Her name died last night. And I just looked at them and I pushed them. And I was like, how dare you talk like if it's nothing, you know what I mean? I'm like, why did nobody tell me? And then they were like, oh, it's because we didn't want to worry you. Yeah, friends. That's what you call friends, right? Everybody knew except for me. I was so mad. I sat down in a little corner that was like against, where the doors were. And I just started crying. And then I was like, why didn't I just tell her what I needed to tell her? If I would have went with her, when I've been, at this scene. It was hard. And then I see her sister pass. And then the principal starts saying, to me at the gym. And I think I just keep looking at the door, and I was like, it's not real. It's just fake. It's a prank. I know she's gonna, walk out of those doors and be like, it's a joke. And then the counselor started talking, and then she was like, I know many of you are looking at the door and can't stop looking at the door. And you're probably thinking that she's gonna, come in out of those doors. But you have to accept that she's gone. Then they were saying that, if you wanted to stay, that class was just gonna continue. And we were just gonna be just basically just go to class just to waste time. It just mourn, her loss and, do prayers and stuff like that. And then when I end up going to the class, now she gave me the ring. And then we would eat together. I looked at the table and we sat down. And it was so empty. I didn't want to sit there, but I knew that I had to. It was hard looking at the table empty. It was really hard. I sat there and the two boys was like, I'm sorry. And I was just crying. I told the teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And I just started crying and crying. And I looked in the mirror and I started hating myself. It was rough. And then I went to class. And I just sat there with the empty stare. Just thinking about her, how did she pass? And did she suffer? And then how her family felt. Especially that she was the oldest. It was hard. And then I looked at the ring and I just kept staring at it. And then I started hating myself, like, why can't I just tell her what I needed to tell her? At least she wouldn't know how much I cared about her. How much I care about her, appreciate everything she did for me. For accepting who I was, being silly and crazy. And she didn't judge me. And so, my birthday came, and I was sleeping. And I had a dream of her. And it was like weird because there was like chairs. I guess they looked like church. It was something like that. And I was just like in the hallway, like where all those chairs were all stacked up. Not stacked up, just like, in line. And I was just looking like forward. And then I kind of had like a presence that somebody was walking out of those doors behind me. And I kind of turned and I looked at her and she was coming towards me. And She had a little present. She had a little present, and she gave it to me. I didn't even care about the present. I just took it, set it next to a bench, and I just hugged her. And I just started crying, and I told her I'm so sorry. I'm sorry just for telling you. Are you gonna come to her birthday? Are you gonna come to her birthday? I'm sorry for not telling you how much you mean to me. And then I told her I really love you. I really appreciate everything you did for me. And then she's like, I told you I was gonna come to your birthday. I'm like, thank you. But then I started, like giving her more hugs. And then I started crying because I knew it was just a dream. And I looked at her and I was like, thanks for coming. And I really, really miss you. And she looked at me and punched me. And she told me, what are you talking about? You're acting like if I died. I looked at her and I was like, what do you mean? You are? You passed away. Her face was so sad. And she was looking at me with an empty stare. And it broke me. I was just crying and crying. And that's when I woke up. And I felt so empty. I woke up crying. And I had told my parents what had happened. And then I started praying for her. Because I knew that, she was still wondering. I miss her so much. And now that I have kids, it breaks me because she didn't get to see me fulfill my dream. Not only as a mother, but as a teacher too. She didn't get to see that. And I never got to see if she was ever gonna be a mom. If you have really someone close to you, let them know how much it means to you because you never know when it's going to be the last day. And every day I regret me not telling her how much she means to me. All the things that she did for me. I know I was there for her too. But she impacted me more in my life. Sorry guys. I'm all clean everywhere I have. Just let them know how you feel. Don't be embarrassed what other people are gonna think about you. I was afraid of, people looking and saying like, oh, you're a lesbian or whatever. Who cares if I was or not, Annie? They would never know how I felt about her. I never had a sister. I never had someone close that I could open up and tell her or tell them, you know what I mean? My deepest secrets. Because we all do have secrets, you know what I mean? And at times, you cannot open up to somebody that you don't trust. And she was there for me, just like I was there for her. And she knew, you know, my biggest fears. And now that she's gone, it's like I lost my sister. I carried her in my car. Well, I used to because I changed cars. I know that I'm probably gonna, do a video about my car accident. But that's the reason why, she's not in my car. Because after my car accident, I had to take her, off. Um, yeah. It's been, since 2006 since I lost her. And I still miss her. I think about her, how her future would have been if that didn't happen. Before I graduated high school, these little kids, which I call little kids, had no respect talking about her. That got me really mad. And there is going to be people that take it not serious because they don't have no heart. You know what I mean? And that's the moment that it hurt me even more because they just came and they were like near my locker and they're like joking around, like say like, oh, how did so and so died again? Like if I was just like something that you read, you know what I mean, or like a joke. My nose is so itchy. That's what got me so mad. And then I punched it and I was like, you know something? It better be the last time you ever talk about her like that, and it better be the last time you ever mention, her name, because if you do know, there is, her sisters that are still coming to school here that have to be hearing your little jokes. Like if it's just a joke, you are heartless. And they just looked at me like, yeah, whatever. I hope they never have to go through this because then they won't know how it feels. And for that teacher, when I saw her, in my senior year, that I did mention that, all I could think about was about my friend. She didn't get to graduate with us, but we had her picture there in front of the in front. I just wish, she wasn't gone. Today was a video about my closer friend that I lost in 2006. If you want to hear more stories, it doesn't matter, I have a lot of stories. Let me know. Thanks for watching.